A lone wolf strides across an unmarked, open mountain ridge. Below the ridge, a hunter heavily loads stone gear onto his back. We frequently assume wild beasts possess a pure, unblemished freedom. They seem to roam without boundaries, schedules, or heavy social debts. Yet wild survival demands relentless, unforgiving compliance with nature's rules. To truly judge freedom, we must measure autonomy against existential risk. Consider how a predatory cat spends its daily waking hours. It cannot choose to rest when calories are desperately low. A single missed hunt brings swift and irreversible physical decline. Hunger dictates every physical decision without a moment of relief. Meanwhile, early humans pooled shared resources in common storage pits. Surplus food bought precious time away from constant life threats. That temporary safety allowed minds to wander beyond immediate survival. Animals lack the mental freedom to deliberately plan distant futures. Instinct governs their routines with rigid, unyielding behavioral patterns. A songbird cannot decide to skip autumn migration to build shelter. Its neurological programming demands flight regardless of personal preference. Humans, however, frequently break expected habits through conscious choice. We can alter our environments instead of merely adapting physically. Yet this environmental control introduces complex social responsibilities. Every human advancement bound individuals to strict collective obligations. A lone hunter had to share his kill with the sick. Refusing social rules meant total exile into the lethal wilderness. In nature, animals face immediate physical boundaries rather than social taboos. A bear does not worry about legal precedent or moral guilt. Its territorial boundaries are physical and instantly tested by rivals. If an animal can hold ground, it rules that land completely. Human territories, conversely, depend on abstract agreements and invisible lines. These invisible constraints exist entirely within human imagination and tradition. We build psychological prisons that no wild animal could ever comprehend. Consider how animals experience physical movement across vast continents. Their paths follow natural topographies, seasonal water, and food availability. No passport, permission, or border guard delays their wild migration, yet every step of that journey carries immense, unmitigated mortality risks. A broken leg in the wild is a guaranteed, slow death sentence. No medical intervention or group compassion exists to heal its injury. Early humans changed this brutal reality through organized communal care. Fossil evidence shows healed fractures among prehistoric human skeletons. Human culture traded absolute movement freedom for vital physical security. We surrendered raw independence to gain protection against random death. Is absolute physical liberty valuable if every night brings lethal terror? Predators hunt continuously under the cover of night. Wild sleep is light, fragmented, and haunted by constant vulnerability. Animals rarely experience deep, uninterrupted relaxation. Human mastery over fire fundamentally transformed our relationship with sleep. Fire pushed dark night predators back beyond the flickering light ring. For the first time, early humans could dream without immediate peril. This secure rest fueled rapid brain expansion and creative problem-solving. Yet fire maintenance required endless, unglamorous daily work. If the fire died, vulnerable human night freedom vanished instantly. We became permanent slaves to the tools that ensured our protection. Wild animals carry no heavy equipment or maintenance responsibilities. An animal owns only what its body naturally possesses. Its coat is its shelter, its teeth are its weapons. It can abandon any location instantly without leaving anything behind. Humans, by contrast, accumulate heavy physical baggage wherever they settle. Moving camp required laborious packing, carrying, and meticulous organization. The more possessions we created, the less mobile we became. Property ownership created new anxieties completely unknown to wild beasts. We had to defend our material possessions against competing groups. What about emotional freedom and the burden of self-awareness? Animals live predominantly in the immediate, unvarnished present moment. A zebra does not dwell endlessly on yesterday's narrow escape. Once immediate danger passes, their nervous system resets to baseline. Humans carry past trauma forward into future expectations. Our advanced imagination allows us to suffer events that never happen. We construct elaborate mental scenarios that generate real physical stress. This psychological burden is the steep price of complex foresight. Yet foresight also allows humans to bypass nature's cruelest traps. We can store dry grain and smoked meat before winter strikes. Animals must face winter starvation with zero advance preparation. When cold weather arrives, millions of animals perish without recourse. Their freedom includes the freedom to freeze or starve quietly. Human innovation built warm shelters that tamed seasonal mortality. We traded absolute wild exposure for artificial indoor comfort. Consider social hierarchy and freedom within animal groups. Wild animal packs enforce brutal, unyielding caste structures. Subordinate animals eat last, mate rarely, and take maximum risks. There is no democratic appeal or social mobility in nature. Power in the wild is absolute, physical, and constantly challenged. Human tribes developed complex political customs to balance group power. Shared rituals and storytelling allowed weaker individuals to have influence. Language granted humans the power to negotiate instead of fighting. This linguistic ability unlocked unprecedented levels of voluntary cooperation. Yet language also enabled deception, gossip, and social manipulation. Animals cannot lie about their intentions or past actions. Their communication is direct, immediate, and utterly honest. Humans must navigate complex webs of truth, lies, and reputations. Managing personal status within a tribe required constant mental energy. We traded simple wild honesty for intricate social diplomacy. Consider the freedom of expression and creative play. Young animals play to practice vital life and death skills. Adult animals almost never engage in non-functional, purely abstract play. Their daily energy is strictly conserved for immediate survival needs. Humans uniquely create art, music, and decorative ornaments without utilitarian purpose. We carve beads from shell and ivory purely to express identity. This artistic freedom allows human inner worlds to expand infinitely. We can explore realities that exist only within our own minds. An animal's mental universe is tightly bounded by direct sensory input. They cannot imagine alternative worlds or question their purpose. Is an existence without existential doubt true freedom? Or is ignorance of alternatives simply a subtle, invisible cage? Animals are locked inside genetic programs shaped by ancient selection. They cannot overwrite their instincts through sheer willpower. Humans possess the unique capability to defy biological impulses. We can choose self-sacrifice, celibacy, or radical lifestyle shifts. This capacity for self-determination is the core of true human freedom. Yet this ultimate freedom comes at the cost of immense responsibility. Every choice carries consequences that ripple through generations. An animal's mistakes affect only its own immediate survival. Human decisions can alter entire ecosystems permanently. As we developed agriculture, our self-imposed cages grew vastly larger. Farming tied tribes to specific patches of land forever. Nomadic roaming was sacrificed for predictable grain harvests. Wild animals remained free to wander across changing landscapes. They maintained their ancient connection to raw nature's rhythms. Yet that connection came with constant, violent vulnerability. Nature gives wild animals freedom, but zero mercy or forgiveness. Humans built a protective fortress of culture, technology, and community. Inside that fortress, we traded wild physical liberty for mental possibility. We gained the freedom to choose our own purpose. So do animals live more freely than humans? Animals possess absolute physical freedom, bounded strictly by lethal risks. Their lives are simple, direct, and completely free of moral guilt, yet they are prisoners to raw instinct and immediate environmental demands. Humans built complex social structures that restrict our daily independence. We carry heavy psychological burdens, duties, and social expectations. In exchange, we unlock the freedom to imagine, create, and master our destiny. Wild beasts roam an open world with zero safety nets. We live in constructed worlds, holding the ultimate freedom to shape who we become.